Today, I'm smoking a rump roast. So what I'm working with today is a 4.3 pound rump roast. If you've never done a rump roast before on the smoker, think of it like a less tender tri-tip, but it takes longer to cook. You don't want to cook it too fast, and preferably you want this somewhere in that, medium rare to rare range. If you go beyond that, you have a real big chance of drying it out. So we're going to be shooting today for sort of that 130-degree range that I like with tri-tip. It's just going to take longer to get there, and we're going to try and go low and slow, somewhere around 220, 225. Now for seasoning today, it couldn't be simpler. We're going to do salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. That's it, nothing fancy. Get a good sprinkling of salt on here. All sides. You have a fat cap here on the back side. Get a little salt on that, but don't worry too much about it. And we're going to be smoking this fat side down today. Get some black pepper on here. Some granulated garlic. And a little bit of paprika. And on top of this, I'm going to add a little more salt. That's it, simple seasoning, and now this is going to go in the refrigerator for about 3 hours before we get it out to the Weber Kettle where we're going to smoke it. What do they say about best laid plans? Well, something happened. I was supposed to let that rump roast sit in the refrigerator in its rub for 3 hours. But then the wind kicked up. I mean, really kicked up. It was supposed to be a little windy. It got into like 35-mile-an-hour winds. And in our area, when there's winds that high, having a barbecue going with smoke and wood on it and things like that isn't the most considerate thing to do, because everybody starts thinking there's a fire, a brush fire. Plus, I didn't want to take a chance on some spark going somewhere. So, long story short, our friend the rump roast had 27 hours in its rub in the refrigerator, and now it's going to go on the kettle. Okay, the kettle temp's at 225. I really want to keep this on the lower range of things today, between 200 and 225 if I can manage it. Really don't want to overcook this fast. I want it to go low and slow. So I have the kettle set up with one briquette basket on the side and a water pan that's about a third full, as also a drip pan, but that water pan is going to help keep a lot of moisture in this chamber. And I'm just using the one briquette basket because I do not want to put too much heat in here. I really do want to keep it on this lower range today. Let's get our rump roast on here. We're going to do this fat side down. Get my temperature probe in here. And that's looking just right. It's showing 40 degrees. It came out of the refrigerator about 10 minutes ago. So we're looking good. So let's get some wood on here. I'm going to be smoking with some post oak today. I already have some nice aroma coming off that post oak. As soon as that catches, we'll get the lid on and get this smoking. All right, we're starting to get some flame. Let's get the lid on the kettle and get this cooking. Okay, I'm going to set my bottom vent for 2/3, and I'm going to have my top vent wide open for now. I'll probably be adjusting the bottom vent at some point to keep this between that 200 and 225 really low and slow temp, but right now we're looking good. Now, I'm not going to be doing any sort of sear on this. I'm just going to be cooking it straight like that, naked the whole time. I'm going to be taking it to an internal temperature of 130 degrees. That's when I'm going to pull it. We're going to slice this as thin as possible. So I'll bring you back when it's time to check this. So we are 2 hours and 45 minutes into this, and we just hit 130 internal, and the kettle's at 201. It's ranged right between 200 and 230 degrees the entire time. I adjusted the lower vent just a little bit down to 1/3, and halfway through this I added 5 briquettes of charcoal and another piece of post oak. And now it's time to check this. Got some nice color on that rump roast. Now let me get the instant readout and do some confirmation checks for temperature. Not probing for tenderness or anything like that. This cut of meat, that's not going to mean anything. We're looking for a temperature just like we would with a tri-tip. Yep, we're good. That's 133. Get our temperature probe out. We're gonna get this off, get it inside. And we're gonna let it rest for about 20 minutes under foil. All right, here is our smoked rump roast. Took it out at 130 degrees internal. That was about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Usually these things take somewhere between 2 and 4 hours. It's a piece of meat you're not gonna be able to 100% plan for just based upon weight. This was 4.3 pounds. Now our grain is running this way generally. You can still see it on the surface. So I'm gonna turn this slightly before I make a cut. Now there's a good chance there's gonna be a juice-a-lanch. We hope there's a juice-a-lanch. And I'm just gonna go straight in the middle. Moment of truth. Oh. There we go. Medium rare, that's what we wanted. The trick with this is getting thin slices. It's still not the most tender cut of meat, so I'm gonna try and get a really thin slice here. Just like that. And we are getting a little bit of a juice-a-lanch, which is good because the main thing with a rump roast is you do not want it to dry out. You start getting to a higher temperature, it's gonna dry out. Now, if you like your meat more well done, it's gonna be a little tricky with this if you're smoking it and trying to keep it tender and juicy. You're gonna have to have a lot of moisture in there. You may have to actually cook it in a pan with some beef broth added. And at that point, you're actually almost just making a pot roast. So this is a smoked rump roast. Slicing almost like roast beef here. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna hold this up here. I don't know if you can see the juice dripping from this. Let me get this in closer and see if you can see that. That is like rare, medium rare. This is exactly how I like a cut of meat like this. And again, this is like a less tender version of tri-tip when it's cooked like this. It is not gonna be as tender as tri-tip, I can already tell you that, but it's gonna be tasty, I hope. I think. Let's go for it. Nice little floppy piece, like floppy bacon. Let's see. Oh, that is nice. Not tri-tip tender, but it is not tough at all. Cooking it to this 130 degrees internal so that the moisture is all still there helps it remain tender. Very hard to see, but there is a nice little smoke ring there. Got good flavor from that post oak on the outside especially. I've got to say, that's more tender than I expected it to be. Now, one of the things when you have a hunk of meat like this is you're doing a rub on the outside, you're smoking it, but it's only taking 2 to 3 hours. You're not getting smoke flavor everywhere, and you're definitely not getting that seasoning penetrating all the way to the center. Even with 27 hours in the refrigerator with the rub on it, you're not going to get that flavor dead center in a piece of meat like this. So why not add something to it? Oh, I can hear the people screaming, he's gonna put sauce on it. You never put sauce on beef. I'll put sauce on whatever I want. You should put sauce on whatever you want. But I'm fooling you, it's not sauce, it's horseradish. Let's go. Oh, horseradish with beef, it just goes. I mean, it goes so well with it. Adds that little kick, a little bit of tang to this. So with just simple seasoning, an extended time in the rub, should have been 3 hours, was 27 hours, and then a 3-hour smoke, you got this. So if you see rump roast and you're thinking, oh, I have to do this with it or do that with it, no, you can smoke it, take it to 130 degrees, get a perfect medium rare in the center there, and it is tender and tasty.